Wow. It's happened. I guess there's a reference to Boundary Break in a retail release game. I'm flattered. I never thought it would happen, but here we are, I guess. It's the sequel to a game called Anodyne, which released on Nintendo Switch. I actually picked up and played it and expressed an interest about it on Twitter. Might be how it ended up in its sequel, Anodyne 2, which is available on Steam and other PC platforms. Yeah, it's got a reference to me and the channel, as well as another YouTuber as well, NitroRad. So I'm going to show you how to find it, which it is out of bounds, and what exactly the reference is. So roughly about an hour into the game in a place called the Blue Veil Center, you'll get to this portion here where there's a bridge with a chasm. Now, one of the cool little things about the Anodyne series is that you are able to trick yourself out of bounds, but the developer encourages that, and oftentimes will leave bonus content in there for the players. But that doesn't mean that getting out of bounds is quite as easy as you would think. Now, you're going to notice that there is an invisible boundary here, and it does its job fairly effectively, but there is a way to clip through it. See, in Anodyne 2, you can transform into a vehicle, and so while transforming into the vehicle while pushing towards the boundaries, you can eventually squeak through with enough persistence. And again, just like any other game where you try to clip through boundaries, this may take you a while, but once you do, you're going to drop down to this lower environment. And in doing so, you can eventually make your way over to these buildings over here that I gotta admit are fairly windy. But do enough exploring through these alleyways and you'll eventually come over to a set of humanoid character models. One is red and one is purple, and the red one is supposed to be a parody of YouTuber NitroRad. And just for fun, I reached out to him to see if he wanted to record for the lines that this character says, so I'm gonna leave it to him to read it out loud to you.
You know, I've been meaning to visit Phantom Cenote for most of my life, ever since I heard a rumor about it at the supermarket. Now imagine my surprise when I came all the way to the bottom of Phantom Cenote, and I found none other than my fellow The Landtube friend, She Says here. But it makes a lot of sense. This is one of the strangest places in Newfoundland after all.
Now, the purple one, which is probably a reference to the channel colors that I like to use, my avatar, as well as other characters that wear the avatar shirt, are always wearing purple, is named SHE Says. And just for expediency, I'm just going to pronounce it She Says, like my channel name. And this character says, "Hey, I'm your host She Says, and welcome to episode A2 of Breaking Boundaries. In case you're new here, we take the camera basically anywhere we want and look for abandoned content in the world of New Zealand. Today we found a mysterious, copied, and empty city at the bottom of Blue Veil Center. Let's see what else we can find." And also what I find pretty funny here is that the character model that is in reference to me in my show is also clipping through the wall. I'm sure that was not a mistake. So I guess I should say thank you, Sean, and everyone that worked on Anodyne 2 for this honor. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to leave a link to Anodyne 2 in the video description down below in case you want to check it out. And of course, if you came here just by a whim and you've never heard of this channel before, this is essentially what I do for the entire channel. So I'm going to leave a playlist to over 100 episodes of Boundary Break. I guarantee there's going to be at least one game on there that you've played and you were a fan of. So if you want to see out of bounds discoveries as well as explanations to developer techniques, feel free to click the link on the screen here, or if you miss it, check it out in the video description. I got all sorts of Nintendo games like all the Zeldas, as well as a lot of love for stuff on the PlayStation 2 Xbox side like Resident Evil 2 Remake, as well as Borderlands 2. But anyways, I hope you guys got as big of a kick out of this as I did, and I'll see you next time. Later.